Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our YouTube account 40-10, but today we are looking at the Abyssal Expedition. So opens in 10 hours. That is right, guys. At reset tonight, we are going to have the Vault of Time, which is going to be open. Very cool. If you're looking to do the Star of Dawn, the Star of Dawn will actually come from honorable enrollment. If you go casual, you cannot do the enrollment, so it will be through the honorable enrollment. If you do go ahead and do this is kind of the spectator version in here. These are the 10 top strongest players within the Abyssal Expedition that I am in. We are honorably enrolled, meaning that if we support these heroes, they will get stamina faster, which can be very beneficial because you're actually putting a little bit more strength into the players that we have here before we get into there. Now, also with the rewards, the casual rewards are a little bit less. The honorable does yield a little bit better rewards, including 25 Stargazer cards, 3,000 diamonds, which I absolutely love, guys. Get the Stargazer cards out of here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a basic guide. Now we did a kind of a basic guide. We did kind of a beginner's guide, which this one is for players that are brand new to the Vault of Time, the Abyssal Expedition. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the guide. All right, guys, so here is the Abyssal Expedition for new players by Hoggering. Again, big shout out to him for putting this guide together. We're going to run through it. So the introduction requirement is beating 15-40, so you have to be in chapter 16. 2 ways to roll, honorable or casual. Now, the big thing, and again, this is a question I get a lot of the times, if you're looking to be a casual player, if you're not going to put that much into the Abyssal Expedition, absolutely going the casual route is the way you want to go. If you're going to log on, let's say 2 to 3 times a day, honorable enrollment, I really feel like the 3,000 diamond investment you do get back. And if you're going to be active within the Abyssal Expedition, the honorable enrollment is the best option because it needs active players. A lot of players will join the casual side and then they will get players that do not play the Abyssal Expedition, or they just enter and then they're AFK. They don't really do anything. Now with the honorable, you do have to stay up with the team that you're fighting with. So again, making sure you're logging on probably multiple times a day, not for an extended amount of time, but that is why the Abyssal Expedition is a little bit more time sensitive. If you get left behind, it's going to be very difficult to catch up. Now, gameplay, there are 70 people within there. It is a large-scale map broken into 3 sections, which we've seen before. You capture tiles to get essence. Essence gives you relics, so you can go ahead and build those up. Now, the enrollment, again, casual enrollment is so bad. Depending on the player, honestly, if you're going to log in once a day, maybe once every 2 days, I would absolutely not go honorable and waste the diamonds, just because chances are within a day or 2, you are going to be left behind. Other thing is, guys, a good guild does not have to be the top, not the top 100, not even the top 1,000 guild. If you're with a good guild, honorable, going in there with a group of people that you can converse with, that you have relationships with, that you can talk to, and actually work together makes a very big difference when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition. Now, at the start, new players, it is hard to start, guys, because you won't have these heroes built. That is kind of the big thing. Only Elite Plus heroes can go in if they are just regular Elite. If you have a single copy, they cannot enter in there. Now, it does also use marginal ratings or martial ratings, which means that the artifacts don't matter, union bonuses don't matter, but everything else does, including the signature items, the furniture that's built, things of that nature. It all does have an effect to the power of the heroes that you have within the Abyssal Expedition, which we'll look at in just a couple minutes. So utilizing really your best heroes at the beginning. So regardless if you have the Eins and Albedo comp, if you're running the Demon comp, regardless of anything that you're running, the first time you enter the Abyssal Expedition, you are going to use the best team comp because you do not have relics behind it at that point, meaning that you're going to be able to actually take encampments with just the heroes that you have, the synergy that you have in the teams that you do carry. Now, checking the tree. The tree is good. For most players, they won't respect the tree. It's pretty expensive if you're changing all the branches and things like that. I really reserve this for more of the top players, but focusing on which tree you have, you can see we have the sorcery tree, we have the celerity tree, and then we do have the warrior tree. Making sure you have heroes within a respective tree. By far the easiest tree within here is the celerity tree. Big reason is the ranger heroes do have dodge. They get haste in there. Their survivability is much higher than we see with the sorcery tree. Even players that have the sorcery tree 100% maxed out, every hero maxed out, have difficulty taking a lot of the encampments early just because of the build of the tree itself, where celerity is relatively easy to get through. Rewards, every time you rank up, you will get more rewards. There are a lot of quests that are associated with the rewards, but as you rank up, you'll see the quests that are there. Once you complete the quest, you will get more loot out of there. Looking at our right side, big notes, communication is a must in the AE. If you're looking to move to a boss, it is very reliant for players to be in conversation and talk to each other on what places they're taking, how they're moving, what camps they're taking. Also, making sure, guys, with some of the tougher camps, having more than one player take it down is super easy, where if I have celerity and you have celerity, I can use my 5 best heroes, you can use your 5 best heroes, and we can actually take down the camp relatively easy because we both have the strongest teams that we have. Priority, you must have at least 10 legendary or higher tier heroes to get the Marquise rank done. That is right, to garrison 10 legendary heroes. You have to have that to get that section done. If not, guys, the 3,000 diamonds you put in there are going to be for naught because you cannot progress past that point. Now, tips. This is the real important part, guys. Save stamina and pathing 1 to 3 heroes instead of using your full team. Try to get 3 stars. 3 stars give you 6 of your 12 stamina back. Always get the max number of settlements. You want 20 of 20 at start. Even if it is an open land and you don't have the stamina to take another place, the open land still does provide essence. Avoid using the 4x speed. I always recommend doing the 2x speed or the no speed, because if you get wiped, you cannot attack again with that same team. The team will actually be gone. So you could restart costing 1 stamina or wiping that cost 12 stamina with giving you absolutely nothing, guys. So slow down within the Abyssal Expedition. Link with others, try to reach the boss. When you link with others, make sure you establish and you continue this link for at least 24 hours. Big thing is, a lot of players will link, they'll drop the link, or they'll drop the settlement that completes the link, resulting in other players that are actually left behind within the Abyssal Expedition. Avoid settlements with these heroes: Flora, Orthos, Thorin, Oden, Almus, Nemora, Brutus, Citrena. That is a really big list, guys. Some of the heroes that are super difficult to deal with: Flora and Orthos, of course, super hard. Thorin as well. The other ones, depending on what you have, they can be a little bit easier. Brutus is another one that can be very difficult, again, if you're relying on the celerity, because he will do his roar, mitigating the dodge, and killing out your teams pretty quick. Settling near the boss gives you a 5% bonus damage, which you absolutely want to settle. You actually click an empty tile. It cannot be a settlement. It has to be an empty tile to go ahead and settle yourself. It'll put your name there. Always start with damage relics. Each level has 4 attack relics. I start from top left to right. Those are really the 2 primary ones that we start with. Asking for help on tier 5, 7s, and 8s. When you get into multi-fights, so tier 5 does have 2 fights that you have to. This is where you can partner with another player. Like I had said, you can take one camp out. I can take the second camp out, making it very easy to get those tier 5s. Now, tier 5s are the most important settlement within the Abyssal Expedition, because that is the point where you start getting a lot of essence. 6s, 7s, and 8s are good. They're a lot more difficult to take, and they do have a rarity factor, but tier 5 is the sweet spot within the Abyssal Expedition that you want to sit on. So essentially, when you start getting towards the end, all of your settlements will be tier 5 or greater, and you will actually progress from there. Avoid cursed cities while you're weak. They can be super difficult. Tanks are immune to curses. Now, they are only immune to curses if you do have your relics on level 3 for the tanking tree. If you're not building up the tanking tree, you will not have that. So be very cautious with that. They're immune to the curses if they are on the level 3 within the tree. Always check both teams for the T5s before attacking. A lot of players do get burned with this, where the first team is super easy. Second team has 4 Thorins and a Flora. You get really burned. Ask friends about the best teams. You can utilize my Discord server. We actually have a super knowledgeable player base within there. If you do not have the required heroes, a lot of players say, I'm new to the Abyssal Expedition, what hero should I use? The tree that you have the most heroes in, which is usually a celerity tree. Celerity tree does make it easier when you're going through to make progression. Now, some people do snipe tiles. They have a feature in there where you can actually drop out the ability. It gives the tiles a cooldown timer. But ultimately, guys, remember, we're on the same team for this. You know, if somebody's running through and taking all the tier 5s, there's only so many they can get, so they might have a little bit more essence than you. You do not want to be the guy that makes the entire Abyssal Expedition horrible because you're just sniping and taking everything from everyone else. Be courteous when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition. Now, when you do finally get to the balancer, guys, there are a lot of different team comps within this, depending on the tree that you win. And this is our little, I forget exactly what the name of it is, but once you hit a certain rank, you pick this up. This will max the relics to your current relic based on what you have. So here you can see they have the sorcery tree. This is the celerity tree and the second one. And then of course the warrior tree to help kill out the balancer. These are some of the previous bosses we've actually had. A very cool guide indeed, guys. As you can see, Grez is used for a majority of these. He is super powerful in here, especially if you do have him built, if you have him maxed out. He will do exceptionally well within the Abyssal Expedition. So guys, that'll do it for today's video. Again, just wanted to cover the new player's guide. The other one, you know, a lot of players were saying, well, it's not a beginner's guide. It's not a new player's guide. There are a multitude of guides out there over on Reddit. You can find them on Discord. There's a bunch of different information. As we come to the bosses, a lot of players will put out different boss comps depending on the bosses you're fighting to really be the most effective. But again, I'm going to put a link down to this guide down below so you guys can check it over on Reddit and let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.